What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about what is going to be in my disc golf bag for the summer. I changed things up quite a bit, so honestly things could be different tomorrow. But for right now, I actually feel like I have maybe my most confident, we'll call it, or just an in the bag setup that's pretty limited, but I really feel confident with it. First things first, I use the Squatch Lure bag. I rotate through a bunch of bags, but this is kind of my go-to just because of the size. And if you want to use code Broderick, it'll save you 20 on any non-signature Squatch bag, and that directly supports me as well. We're gonna be playing around disc golf today. I'm gonna be forcing myself to kind of throw everything in my bag, so along the way, I can talk you through what I use each of these discs for. Let's get into it.
There's 3 keys to disc golf: driving, approaching, and putting. You need all 3 to do this disc sport.
Today we're out here at Clearwater Pleasant Lake Disc Golf Course in Annandale, Minnesota. This is one of the first 18-hole courses that I ever got to play. It's about 40 minutes from my hometown, and I loved this course as a kid or as a teenager growing up playing disc golf. Hole number 1 here. Why not start with one of my favorite molds of all time? We're talking about the PA3. Recently, my throwing putters have been pretty consistent, but I've also been kind of changing things in and out. But overall, these 3 discs, and these 2 specifically, you might be like, bro, those are new ones, I haven't seen them. Yeah, I just found a stock of like 10 PA3s that I had left back in Minnesota, and I dug them out and kind of forgot I had some gems, and they quickly made their way back into the bag. But we got this old 400 PA3 Super Beef. It's basically a PX3, and it's actually more overstable than the PX3 that I had been throwing. That was kind of getting a little too beat in, so we made the switch. See how much beef that has? Slides right up, money. Up next, we got the Prodigy PA3, just a classic straight PA3 that eventually over time will beat up to be a late flipper, but right now, pretty much dead straight. Oh, I threw it straight into the ground. And then we got an old beat up 300 bar stamp PA3. This thing is just a beauty. Late flip, hyzer flip to turn, kind of the do everything you want it to do PA3. Now watch it. Oh, it almost got over. We do have a little tailwind, so it kind of stabled it out. Kind of covers my, we'll call it low glide throwing putter slot. So back in the days of the Nashville Frisbee Club, I did a video just like this where I did an in the bag. I think I actually called it like nobody gives a fuck. When it comes to disc golf, nobody actually gives a fuck what's in your bag. But I kind of had the same concept where I played a course. I played Seven Oaks Classic with my bag and kind of walked through everything. I'm gonna go watch that after I film this. I'll throw the card for that video up in the corner. It'd be interesting to see how things have changed or maybe stayed the same. So I feel like a lot of you guys maybe know this because I've mentioned it, but lately I've been putting with the P-Line P1s, the new release from Discmania. Really been enjoying these. For the time being, they'll definitely be sticking around. But I also have this. This is a super beat up KC Pro AVR. One of my favorite discs of all time. And I like to use it for a little bit longer putts, maybe a little glidier, a little more of like, I don't know. This isn't Circle 2, this is like 28 feet, but they kind of just glide, and something about a KC Pro AVR just gives me comfort. It's always been like my fallback disc. And it's also a pretty good throwing putter. Most of the time I'll probably just pick the PA3, but something about keeping one of these in the bag just makes me feel good. But it's gotta be super beat up. Like the beads gotta be half gone, you know what I mean? Nice and straight. The beloved 500 plastic PA4. Or honestly, like any PA4, but in my opinion, the PA4 might be one of the most underrated throwing putters ever made. Hole 2 from the shorts is like a really pushy hyzer. Something that fits this flight perfect, where it's a really understable disc, much flippier than my beat up PA3. So you can throw it on almost a vertical line and it's still gonna kind of push left, but have that really good glide to it. Yeah. The PA4, I just think fits such a unique slot. A lot of people's games, like, let's be real, if you don't throw on hyzer, the PA4 might not be a disc for you. But for my preferred release of a lot of hyzer, I'm so confident in hitting gaps. I love hitting that pushy hyzer line like I just demonstrated. But my second favorite shot, or just another shot I love to throw with the PA4, is the dead straight shot that's real skinny gap. But because I can release it on hyzer, which I'm really confident in hitting gaps with, but it's so flippy, I know it will bend up and get to flat kind of throughout the entire flight. So although it's on hyzer, it really just flies straight. Do it. Oh, dang it. Up next, we got my beloved buzz assess. This one specifically is a flat ESP buzz assess, which I kind of think are the most flip up or flippy out of the box. I love all buzz assesses. Right now, I'm actually only bagging one just to keep things simple. This one kind of does everything. It's that sweet spot where if you can still get it to hyzer, you can get to go straight, you can get to the late flip. This one's been in the bag for almost like 4 years now, and I don't see it ever really leaving. Hole 3, 307, dead straight. Hopefully I can lace this line for you guys. This is kind of like a hole that's written up for the buzz assess. Yeah. See? You just release it on a touch of hyzer and it just gets up. It's really forgiving because of the stability of it, where you can put it on a little too much hyzer and it's still pretty much just gonna go straight. As long as you don't release it flat and then kind of burn it, it's so forgiving and just almost always ends pretty much dead straight. I mean, come on, just a laser. If you're not throwing a buzz assess, go to powergripusa.com right now. Use code Broderick10, or if you buy 2, use code Brod. Free ship, Broderick free ship, maybe. I don't know. You can get free shipping over 25. Head over there if you like any of these discs. Most of them are available on powergripusa.com. I'll be honest, guys. Hole number 4, it's kind of a tricky one. It's only 306 feet, but there's a super low ceiling. If I was a thumber guy or any sort of overhand, it would be so sick, or grenade. But you kind of got to keep it low and keep her real clean. I don't really know what disc that I want to, I guess, like, showcase here. Let me think. Cicada. Over the last couple months, you guys probably saw me fall in love with that yellow Z Cicada. It was a great disc. It still is. I still have it. But Discraft sent me every Cicada plastic. And if there's one thing that I know kind of off the bat for Cicadas, at least in my experience, is that the ESP ones are a little bit flippier. And what I kind of noticed with the Z one is it flew amazing, but it was right in this borderline spot where sometimes it wouldn't quite flip. And so we replaced it with a nice little fresh ESP Cicada, at least for now. Max weight. Hopefully this one gets a little late flip, and because it's a low ceiling, we'll use a little bit of the speed to kind of help us get there. You know, that's not good for the hole, but that's a pretty good flight demonstration of how the Cicada flies. I guess a little bit more on the Cicada and why I love it so much. Hand feel feels amazing. It's actually one of the flippy, like, fairway drivers that also feels pretty good in the forehand. The Cicadas are relatively flat. You can get some domier ones, but I kind of like the flat ones. And for some like wooded scramble forehand flip ups, stuff like that. But the reality is, you've heard me say it before, it's just a Buzz SS, but it's a 7-speed. Flies almost identical. So I'm kind of happy I got a blue ESP one to kind of just complement my blue ESP Buzz SS. It's the 1-2 punch that, like, I think 90% of disc golfers could probably utilize. Obviously, a lot of you guys probably already have something in that slot, but if you don't, Buzz SS Cicada combo, it's so good. Do not know where we went. Oh, I think I see it. Yep. Oh, forehand KC AVR. Do it. Oh, I thought that went in. Stay up. Oh, you. Player 2. Come on. This next hole is like a massive turnover or forehand. You got to get it to go so far. We're going to throw the PA4 again. Guaranteed to get right. Give it a little bit of height. I really like that. We'll see what we got. Probably a death putt. Bro. I guess it's a player 2 day. Hole number 6, 395 footer. But once you crest this hill, it takes more of just like speed control and angle control rather than the distance. But this is a great hole to show you guys my next disc. The Birdie Disc Golf Supply Signature Strike, still available, birdiediscgolfsupply.com. Use code Frisbee Club, save you a little bit, supports me. These are great. It's like a beat up T-Bird, slightly beat up, still has a good stability. But if I can hit this nice and smooth over the hill here, should just fade right to the basket. Little right, but I think I'll actually end up being I feel like I got the pressure on me today because like you're going through the course, you're saying, hey, this is what I use this disc for. But then if you show them, if you throw it and you don't do that at all, it's like, you just suck. So obviously that wasn't the best flight demonstration, but I actually somehow ended up being pretty decent right here. So we'll take it. The strike must have fought back through. The strike is really straight. It still has a good consistent finish. Mock pocket. Ugh. Twice or I suck. Thrice or I'm total ass at disc golf. Come on. Hole number 7, 371. This is an absolute beauty of a hole. But I'll be honest, it's one of them ones where if you don't play this course frequently, you kind of don't quite know the line. It's tucked down right. So like a big forehand works, or like a turnover that kind of pushes out at the end. It's been a while. I kind of want to try my new stable 400 PA3 on a big old turnover. Oh, I didn't turn it at all. Kind of the same line, but with the strike. Oh, I really like that. Ah, it's fading out a touch. Yeah, this hole's hard, guys. So there's the basket. That's kind of where my strike went. And then here is the tee pad back there. This is one of them holes. It's nothing too crazy, but with the downhill slope and kind of a, I don't even want to call it tight, but a woods line kind of surrounding it. You got to keep a tight line. I do feel like if I actually just committed to turning over my PA3, that would have been a really nice shot that kind of flattens out to the basket. Because you can't go like understable because you need it to flatten out towards it. Otherwise you kind of burn it out early, maybe cut roll. See if we can just toss this thing up there for a par. All day. A little par. This is one that, because it's a low ceiling, I'll probably go Buzz SS. Yeah, little 15 footer. Nice. So you guys have probably heard me taking a nice breathe in and breathe out on my putts. And funny story, the tournament I played last weekend, Bemidji Open, we were on the last hole of the tournament. We were talking with the card mates and everything, and everyone kind of didn't have like the best putting day. And I was saying, yeah, so what I've been doing lately is I've been doing like an exaggerated breath in, exaggerate the breath out, and it kind of takes the mind off of like what the hand is even doing. Like, you know how to putt, you've done it 1,000 times. So we throw the last hole, we all throw pretty good shots. They go before me. I'm not parked, they probably had like a 20 footer. They go, I hear them too, it's funny, they go, bang. Oh, I'm like, okay, cool, they used my tip in literally the next hole. Next guy, bang, me, cage. I was like, guys, you owe me that stroke. We got a little 200 footer here. It's just a little chip forehand around the bend, which probably be a good time to talk about the 2 forehand approach discs that I'm rocking right now. This slot kind of fluctuates quite a bit for me, but right now I'm just trusting a zone for zone stuff. It's just a sturdy zone. It's not like super stable. It's not flippy by any means. Like, it's a good straight zone with a touch of finish that I hope kind of beats up over time into a zone SS type disc. But then we got the Broderick Signature or limited edition A4. Bunch of you guys probably have your hands on these. I know tons of people love these things. They fly great. The difference for me between the A4 and the zone is the A4 is more of a scramble disc. Something about like when I'm in a tricky situation and I need something with a little bit of glide and a little bit of, I don't know, something special. I feel like that's an A4 shot. I also think it's a touch faster and maybe goes a little bit further than a zone is gonna go. It's more of like a feel thing. You know, they're overall pretty similar, but it's kind of just in the moment which one feels better. But I'll go ahead and throw them both. Oh! Well, as you can see, my forehand still sucks, but that don't mean we can't absolutely ching one. Bro! This is a cool hole because if I don't suck, you guys are going to be able to see another shot that I love, a good pushier zone, we'll call it, and an A4 floor. The old forehand turnover. Come on. Gosh, why am I so bad at forehands right now, guys? I was supposed to turn over and like pan to the basket. It didn't. We'll see what this one does. Believe it or not, I used to be really good at that shot. One more PA4 shot. Yeah, so that's how the PA4 flies. I think we lined ourselves up with a sweet little putt out of the woods here. That's the one good thing about being really bad at throwing shots is you get to practice cool putts. Yep. Oh, I yanked it. Yep. Honestly though, like the range from like just outside C1 today, they haven't all been going in, but they've been feeling pretty decent. So one of the newer additions to the bag is the Orion LF. This specifically is the 1.4 run. Something cool about Millennium is they put the run number on there, and they vary quite a bit. They're made by Innova, so like, you know. But this is a little bit of an older one. It's a 167, and this is kind of the disc that's in like my super beat up Firebird slot. As far as I know, the OLF is a disc that has a Firebird bottom and then something else on the top. Basically, it's like a pushier Firebird, or at least, you know, something kind of similar, control driver. We're on to like the hardest hole maybe on this course. I don't really know how far it is, but you have to absolutely lace a shot through the woods here, and then the basket's like just continues and it's off left. Yeah, if I had any height, I think I would be absolutely launching down there, but you kind of get the point. It's like a flip up guy. You can hit it. It's a good stable disc, but because it's 167, it kind of pops up and glides a little bit more. It's also like pretty much brand new. So as I smack some trees, inevitably, it'll get a little more drift out of it. We have this little straight line right here, guys, and I think we're gonna try and go maybe stable PA3, a little bit of a flex, and like push it towards the basket. Bro, that was so good. Let's try and knock down a little C2 banger, guys. God gave us a gap. You know what they say. See, this is kind of the range where I'd probably use the KC AVR. Try and get a little extra carry. Oh, I just didn't trust my spin enough and kind of fluffed it too high. Now let's go with something in between those two. Oh, just short. Up next, we have one of my favorite discs for quite some time, ever since it came out actually, is the Birdie Disc Golf Supply Color Glow Ultra. You may be asking, Brad, why don't you have your run of these in the bag? They're a little soft in the summer, so we put the old beat up one back in the bag. I like a little bit stiffer, but these fly so good. Pushy forehands, pushy backhands, but with a good finish. Try and throw a little side hand slinger here. Just like that. Oh, into the tree. This has been one of my favorites. It's just all reliable. This is the second one I've ever bagged. The first one I lost and replaced it with that. And they just get better as they beat up with time. You know, just because nothing really matters, we're gonna try and go with a little forehand KC Pro AVR putt. Oh, there's one thing that I'm bad at. It is forehanding traditional style putters. I cannot do it. They just wobble, burn them over. Bro. There it is. Hole 13, about 420 feet, and it feels like the perfect opportunity to bust out the DD1. You guys know I love a good DD1. We got kind of the old reliable one here. What are these called? Horizon DD1s. A little beat up, kind of gets a good late flip. And then we got a Freshie Stratosphere DD1 here. This is like the first run of them, and this thing is just an absolute like pop top bomber out of the box. Usually I have like honestly between 1 and 4 DD1s kind of rotating through the bag. Right now I feel like these two are kind of doing the work. We got like the flip and then still flip, but a little bit more finish. I like to have a glow one sometimes for a little bit more stability. Just like that. Oh, and it held the stability a little bit. Kind of said it a bunch of times, but I feel like it's the closest distance driver I've ever thrown to a fairway driver in terms of consistency and like control in the flight. I feel like it doesn't have a lot of movement at the end. It doesn't have a lot of low speed fade. It kind of just wants to finish straight. Come on. Oh, not quite tipping. Luckily, after I bang these putts, the next hole is like a absolute bomber, so I'll be able to demonstrate the full flight of the DD1. It's like I didn't quite do him justice there. The DD1 for an 11 speed, I feel like goes so far. It just like you'll find out. I'll give you a little hint. I'm basically not really carrying any 12 speeds right now because I've come to just trust the DD1 with both consistency in flight and distance. It kind of just does everything for me. As long as there's not like a ton of wind. Both of these are pretty solid. Right, just on Circle's Edge. Stratosphere, Horizon. Oh, and you just baby it. Gosh. It is a player 2 type of day. Just gonna absolutely destroy these on a hyzer and see how they flip. Oh. God, that one goes so far. I love it. Ooh. Oh, that's going so far, but it is not gonna hyzer back out. That might get to the tree line though. Oh, that is a bomb. Pretty good shot here. Center cut DD1. I feel like they need to trim this up so that people who throw like a really good drive up to the middle here at least kind of have like a, yeah, at least got a putt, you know? See if we can like throw one in. I did it. Let's go. Casey Pro AVR. Oh, that's so fun. Hole number 15, 364 feet. It's just a little bit left of the kind of open fairway here. What a great hole for the Buzz. Now the Buzz is a disc that is kind of come and gone over the last couple years. The Buzz is great, obviously. I have like freaking 15 of them, but maybe like 20 between Buzzes and Buzz SS's that are all like good, bunch of like old PFN ones. But the thing that I look for in a Buzz is one, grippy plastic, because not all the Discraft discs are grippy. Two, I like a flat one, mainly because that means I can forehand it as well. And I just recently got this one from my buddy James, and it kind of fit the perfect stability that I was looking for, where it flips up a little bit and it almost acts like a Buzz SS mid-flight, but then at the end you're gonna have a little bit of fade still, but it also fights like a headwind a little bit better, or just holds up in any wind a little bit better than an SS is gonna do, because even a stable SS is a little bit more susceptible to wind, whereas a beat up Buzz, in my opinion, handles it a little bit better. That looks pretty good to me. Oh, just faded a little early. Just for fun, I'm gonna throw my strike here. Try and get in on a little bit of like a left to right drift that kind of just flattens back out at the end. Now watch it come back. just to kind of demonstrate. Oh gosh. So on the topic of buzz or buzz assess, because I've been playing tournaments lately, I feel like I've limited the number of them that I have because I don't like to have like a question in my head of which one I should go for. I have the one that kind of does everything, can flip, and the one that kind of goes straight with a little bit of fade, and I just make those two work. But sometimes, I mean, shit, I'll have like 6 of them in the bag between the two molds. Like, it's just, I'm sure everyone else is like that too. You might have a ton of mid-ranges, kind of depends on where you're playing. If you're playing a lot of park style, wooded stuff, you're gonna have more mid-ranges. But lately, I really have been enjoying kind of just the Ultra, the Buzz, and the Buzz Assess. Covers everything I need it to do and really nothing more. And it kind of just takes the thoughts and the questions in your head of like which one you should throw out of the equation. I don't know, keeps things simple. Pretty solid buzz shot here. See if we can tap in a little bird. I think another thing that kind of separates the Buzz versus Buzz Assess for me is the Buzz goes much further. At least for somebody who can throw a mid-range like over 350, Buzzes go much further. If you keep up with disc golf, I'm sure you're familiar with the couple seasons when Drew Gibson was playing really well and he threw that red Jumpman Buzz on like every single hole and just was throwing it on holes where everyone else was throwing drivers and just throwing the nuttiest lines. And you know, I think most pros would probably agree that like, yeah, the Buzz in terms of like a stable disc, maybe you could get something flippy that you like full flight to go further, but in terms of a disc that's going to hold up to like pro level power, the Buzz just goes. And for me, it's kind of the same. Like the Buzz SS is finessey, you know, I'm going to use it for finessey shots. It's going to go decently far, but when I want something super controlled and I just want to smack something and feel confident, I know the Buzz is going to get a little bit more distance and it's going to allow me to really just dig into it. So one of the newest additions to my bag is the AB Signature Series Venom, the Z-Swirl Venom. I got my hands on this last weekend, started throwing it, threw it in the tournament right away, and I felt it. It felt really good. I'd been wanting to throw the Venom for a while. This plastic is money, and I just trusted it right away. Lately, I've been having issues with my distance drivers. I just haven't trusted them. I don't know, I haven't been throwing them good other than the DD1. Venom's a 13 speed. I feel like it probably measures in as a 12 speed. It's a pretty small rimmed 13 speed, but it just gave me some overstable trust. And I don't know, I really liked it. I haven't really tried it for like flex distance lines or even just anything that I'm really trying to get to go super far. But if I needed like a 390, 375, like maybe 400 foot, like pushy hyzer shot, I felt like this thing was just so trustworthy. And it's also a disc that I've actually thrown some good forehands with lately, which all my other distance drivers, I cannot say the same thing about. This hole, we're playing the short pad from this one today because I'm gonna try and just throw a massive hyzer. The basket is like tucked behind the left side, kind of these trees here. Just gonna go up and over everything, kind of see how this thing acts. Oof. Yeah. Like this Venom has so much glide, but is also still beefy. I just parked it. I don't know how far this is, but it's just, I don't know. Usually my Scorpiuses would be the shot or the disc I'd throw for this, and I just haven't been vibing with them lately. So we're switching things up. Hole 17. We got the last disc in the bag. I'm sure you guessed it. The Starfire Bird. Specifically the PFN Starfire Bird, the disc that inspires the Broadbird, which I just got off the phone with Power Grip yesterday, and we're hoping to have like everything finalized. So those will be coming. Broadbird 2.0, coming hopefully in like the next month. Let's plan on that. But brand new PFN Starfire Bird, nice and stable. Nothing crazy though. And then the super pushy one here. This is a 325 foot hole. We're gonna just try and hit kind of like a flat push hyzer with the flippy one. And then we're gonna try maybe a little flex over top with the new one here. This disc it's just a classic for me. See how much that one pushes, and I aced it. Oh, God. It's so nice having Firebirds that do that. I do have like a bunch of others. Obviously I got some Broadbirds. I kind of rotate Firebirds in and out of the bag other than that one. But now that I have the matching stable complement, this one will probably be sticking around. We'll definitely make some room for a new Broadbird when they drop. See how that still is like not beefy, but then it'll come back right at the end. A little bit of fade. And that pretty much does it for what's in my bag right now. We got one more hole to play, but things could change like I kind of talked about. It's a pretty open bag concept. I'll kind of put anything in or out at any time, but I do kind of feel like what's in there right now, especially when I'm carrying the Lore V1, which is kind of my favorite. It's a little slimmer model. You can't really overpack it. You can't really overcomplicate things, and you kind of keep things simple. I was jamming on an S-Line PD quite a bit lately, but when I got my hands on this new Star Firebird, it kind of does the same thing, and it's just a little bit more like familiar and comfortable for me. You might have seen in my bag, I don't necessarily bag anything that is like super beefy. My overstable stuff is really just like, I wouldn't even consider it like overstable. It just has a good finish. Windy days, you know, maybe I'll put something in to fight a headwind, but with my hyzer flip style, typically I don't really throw much like beef, and I like to keep things relatively simple. Let's make a putt. You know, I feel like the old in the bag is kind of a classic disc golf thing. I grew up watching them, and to some people they're like, nobody cares. Some people love them. So hopefully you enjoyed this one if you made it this far. I'm sure this is a pretty long one. Oh, my ugliest putt of the day. I short-armed it. Can't do that. It's like that. If we were playing player 2 putts today, I would be shredding, but unfortunately I am not. That's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. If you got any questions about these Frisbees, comment down below. Hole 18, 459. We're going to throw some bombs. We'll see you in the next one.
I remember all them winters, drinking Woodford till we drowned. We gear word about the party, bundled up and
Creator of Frisbee Club, motherfuckers.
The man, the myth.
And right here, I have a Frisbee bag. It holds all my Frisbees, the ones I like.